if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Man, here lately, I've been having the lake to myself a lot. It's usually an indicator that the lake's not fishing real good. It's probably because of that thing right there. We are here, boys. Good morning. Wind's already blowing, so that's exciting. Moon is bright, like crazy bright. The water is ridiculously high, and the wind is blowing. It's gonna be another tough day, guarantee it. But it's a lot of fun trying to figure them out. Let's get this boat launched and let's go. God almighty, man. This is what happens whenever all your gear gets rained on for hours and hours and hours on end. But then you catch one on the backlash. Oh my goodness gracious. What's up, little guy? Little Toho Bass this morning. Beautiful out here. We got a backlash, and while we were picking the backlash out, that guy decided that he wanted the little worm. And now it's time to put another one on. Cool. Got him on the reel in. Another dinky bass. This is from the dinky variety. I know you guys like the chesty cam deal, but I freaking hate wearing this chesty cam. I get tired of catching these little peckerheads offshore, man. Like, I know there's big ones out there, but man, it sure seems to suck anymore. Plus, let's be honest, this way of fishing is a lot more fun. Wood. Chopped grass mats up in here that are calling my name. Seems to be looking good. Wow. These things are pretty thick. We need to go up a little in weight. Probably to like a 1 ounce. The big Cinco sticks out. Bobber stop. Big Hogtech weight. The big one. Owner Jungle HD. Four-aught. That has a little bit of some funk on it, so we're going to clean that up real quick. Little Snell action. Then we need a bait. You have to love that freaking bite right there, boys. Cinco Sticks 7.9 mat punching rod, 1 ounce weight, some chopped grass mats. Hard to beat. Hard to beat. Turn her back loose into the grass. See ya. That's why you always go for the bounce. Little, but mat punching fish are always good points for style. You get style points on mat punching fish, and you get style points on frogfish. Make bass fishing great again, people. Go punch some heavy cover. Woo! Boy! Punch mats, guys. Punch mats. Make bass fishing great again. All right, well, that is it for today, guys. That's it for the last couple of days. Overall, the fishing is tough out there. But like any tough bass fishing, when you kind of get a pattern dialed in, it gets really fun really quick. Like you guys saw when we got into those mat punching fish, there is no type of bass fishing in this world that gets me in my heart like dragging fish out of heavy cover on a big rod. You know, 2 different days. We had 2 different like weather scenario deals. Like, I kind of want to give you guys like a key notes to take away from the last 2 days. The biggest one being weather changes and how we caught the fish. Yesterday, it was blowing 50 miles an hour. It was cloudy. It rained. It was just a nasty weather kind of day. But didn't have any luck flipping or pitching yesterday. But what we did have luck doing was throwing a spinnerbait. We got on those spinnerbait fish, and you know, the biggest one of the day came out of a hole in the Kissimmee grass on a speed worm. But definitely, you know, just moving around. And you know, both days I kind of fished some offshore stuff and didn't have much luck doing it. It seems like you can catch plenty of dinky little fish out there in the middle of the lake right now, but it seems like the bigger ones are coming off the bank. But back to what I was saying as far as key notes take away, you know, yesterday, low barometric pressure or falling barometric pressure, a lot of clouds, a lot of wind, a lot of rain, thunderstorms, you name it. The moving bait bite was the deal. Spinnerbait, speed worm, swim jig, you know, anything that you could cast and reel through a hole in the hydrilla or a hole in the grass would get eat. Today, completely different box of frogs. You know, it was, when we first got on the water this morning, it was bluebird skies. It looked post-frontal and there wasn't much wind. Went over to a shoreline I kind of been thinking about a lot lately, and was really disappointed to find that a lot of the Kissimmee grass over there is completely choked out with pepper grass now. It's getting really frustrating. You know, the majority of the lake, pretty much all the lake, I don't think Lake Toho is anywhere near the lake that it was 10, 15 years ago, and that is directly because of the overgrowth of submerged aquatic vegetation. They let the hydrilla and the pepper grass get completely out of control. And so as a result, all of the grass flats, I'm talking Kissimmee grass flats, the reed patches, the pads, you name it, it's all choked out with hydrilla and pepper grass now. And that makes things really tough. The fish just kind of tend to spread out everywhere and they don't really hold to any one thing. But today, bluebird skies, not as much wind, no rain. A lot more difficult to kind of get on a pattern. You know, we got on a shell bar out in the middle of the lake that I caught some fish out there on a worm, but they were kind of tough to catch, and whenever you got them to bite, they were really small. And the coolest thing of today, probably the coolest thing about the last 2 days, was getting on that mat punching bite. Man, that was freaking awesome. You know, wound up catching a couple of decent fish, one about 4, one about 4.5, and then the majority of them were all pretty small fish, which is pretty par for the course for Toho. You know, a lot of your little bit bigger fish, I'll call them your tournament grade fish, those 5 and 6 pounders, tend to be more populated offshore. But I will tell you this 100%, all of my biggest fish that I've caught out of this lake, all the fish I've caught out of this lake, 9, 10, 11, 12 pounders, have all come off the shoreline. I've never caught a giant bass offshore. Never. Me personally, I've never caught a giant offshore. They've all come from up shallow, either frogging or flipping or throwing a speed worm or something. It's always doing something shallow. So with that being said, after what I saw for the last 2 days, you know, if I had to go fish a tournament tomorrow out here, I'd have 2 rods on the deck of the boat. I'd have a mat rod and I'd have that speed worm on braid. And man, I'd go down the lake to my favorite grass line and I'd put the boat on the bank, and I don't know that I'd pull the trolling motor up the rest of the day. I'd flip heavy isolated cover and mats, and I'd throw that speed worm in between. You know, I might run around looking for, you know, if I got on, like, let's say they're in the chopped grass mat, you know, I might go run around and try to find some more of that or something else. I don't know. Not necessarily a Lake Toho fishing report, but kind of a, hey, y'all ride along with me as I kind of try to get fish dialed in and show you kind of how I go through things. I don't know. Like all my videos, hopefully this one helps you. And if it doesn't, oh well. But at the end of the day, the lake is still Lake Toho, and it is full of giant bass. There are certain times of the year when we get into transitional times, like right now, we're in the fall transition, where it gets tough. It's just how it is. It just gets tough out there. Those big giant fish get hard to come by. But if you can find something really fun to go do in between and still catch some decent fish, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. I'm gonna be going pretty hard on the Toho stuff over the next several months, and whole Kissimmee chain stuff. I've got a lot of people reaching out to me asking me for some help on the entire Kissimmee chain. I might go down there and start doing some more filming down there on Kissimmee and Hatch and Cypress and kind of show you guys what's going on down there. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But as always, you guys be safe. Make sure you wear your sunscreen and go see the dermatologist. And remember, if you're in the Central Florida area and you're looking for a guide to take you and put you on a shiner trip, artificial trip, a very specific trip, let's say you want to go learn how to frog and punch mats, let's say you just want to get better with your graphs, hit me up. I always leave a link in the description below. You click the little description thing down there, and there's information in there, guys, on how to get a hold of me. You can email me, you can go to my website. My phone number is pretty readily available. Shoot me a text. Let's get you out on the water and try to make you a little bit better fisherman so you can have a little bit better time on the water. As for me, I'm about to spend the next hour and a half navigating Poinciana traffic. But that's it, guys. Fun day catching them, punching mats. Wish I could have got the spinnerbait thing going again. The spinnerbait fish we got on yesterday were a lot of fun. Oh well. Anyways, guys, we will catch y'all later.